Welcome to the channel. Sprinkle, sprinkle, everyone. We are here today to talk about witchy things. Okay, I've been reading a few books. I wanted to share a few things with you. Just so y'all, know what I'm up to. Okay, so thank y'all for being here. I appreciate you. The first thing I want to talk about is, hey y'all. First thing I want to talk about, someone actually sent me these. If y'all were on my video earlier today on my other channel, y'all might have saw that I talked about pheromones, like pheromone oils, perfumes, and sprays. This is, a lot of people think this is a form of witchcraft, but it's really just science. But Ho Cosmetics, spelled Heaux, sent me a box of pheromone secret weapon. And this is where you wear the pheromones and it attracts the opposite sex, or they even have some for like men and women. So they have unisex. So you can, it's spelled like, so they're on Instagram, and I also link them in the description bar, hocosmetics.com. And so they sent me this kit of pheromones, and I took one of them out because I think it's one of them somewhere else. Oh, here it is. So you have one that's supposed to make men romantically attracted to you. The other one is supposed to get them really excited and like, passionate. The other one is to attract women to men. And the other one is to spray on, and it's called Liquid Finesse. So it helps you get your way. It helps you become more social. It helps people want to, socialize with you more. It's called Liquid Finesse. And I've literally been using this, and people have just been so talkative to me. Okay. Just more than normal. And it worked on James. Like, he wants to pay for my cart that I filled up. He told me to, put whatever you want in there, and then when I get home, I'm gonna give you the money to pay for it, or I'll pay for it with my card or whatever. Like, when I wear this stuff, I like get more offers and nice things, and like from just the people that are around me. So it definitely works. I was not sure if pheromones worked because I had never tried them before. I did try them a long, long time ago when I was younger, but I don't think they were like the same that they're making today, because they don't smell anything like this. So yeah, hocosmetics.com, secret weapon. Now, a lot of people will say this is witchcraft and all this kind of stuff. And yeah, it probably is, because, I've been getting way more nice things, way more people talking to me. So it is literally magic. It is literally working. So the names of these are Provocateur, Pleaser, Essence of Ecstasy, and Liquid Finesse. They work. All right. I have to forget. I can't forget to wash this off if I'm going somewhere with a lot of people and I want to be left alone, because they just make you, very approachable, and people just want to talk your ear off or just, be in your presence. It's weird. So y'all go check that out. Anyway. So witchy things, anything that can alter your reality, anything that can help you get favor magically, scientifically, belief-wise, or whatever. That's what we all kind of go for if you're, into this sort of thing. And that's why people get readings. They get the pheromones, different perfumes, potions, oils, herbs, all this kind of stuff, because it kind of helps them get what they're trying to get, accomplish what they're trying to accomplish. Now, it can also be done mentally, but a lot of people also want to snare the senses, I say. Snaring the senses can get stuff faster at the same time as you are manifesting. So It doesn't help to smell a little extra good when you're manifesting money or manifesting, you know, whatever. It doesn't help. I mean, it helps to finesse your way into, if you work a raise by using the finessing spray, or getting favor from people that you're trying to get favor from. It helps, you know, and also, you know, wearing certain colors, or, you know, doing certain rituals, taking certain types of baths and stuff like that to prepare yourself. So a lot to prepare your vibration so that you can vibrate on a higher frequency. So let's say you're in competition with someone, or if you're trying to get a raise at work, or if you're trying to get someone to notice you more, or if you're trying to accomplish a certain thing, your frequency needs to be raised up a certain level. And all the things that we have around us physically can actually help us, from the oils we use, the perfumes, the fabrics that we wear. A lot of different fabrics vibrate at different frequencies as well. I know linen and wool vibrate very high. So like, if you want to vibrate very high one day, wear all linen, and or wool, depending on what time of year it is. Get your rose oil. That's the highest vibrating floral oil, or essential oil. You know, if you want to finesse someone as well, get your finesse spray, or whatever you use magically to enhance your frequency. It could be a crystal, oils, whatever, color magic. Combine it all and see how much of a difference that it makes versus not doing anything. Okay. So that's what I've learned. When I combined all of the things that raise my frequency, raise my, you know, aura, and people are more attracted to me, or more giving towards me, or more generous towards me, or nicer to me, I notice a huge difference than when I don't do anything and when I'm not aware of it. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I wanted to tell you guys. Like, it's okay to incorporate witchy things in your everyday life if it's going to bring you exactly what you want. You know what I'm saying? And there's no harm in it, because, I mean, it's not really doing anything but allowing yourself to be getting what you want faster. Okay. Also, your confident level has a lot to do with your magic. If you are doing spells, or manifesting, or writing spells, or doing spells for other people, or even just doing your own divination, your confident level has to be high in your own abilities in order for you to get the best results. So if you are doubting yourself, if you don't know if you're good at this or not, you need to approach it from a more confident level. And that way your magic is stronger, your frequency is stronger, and it's going to work faster. And I'll tell you, a lot of people who are just starting out, or are unsure of themselves, or afraid they're going to mess up, or whatever, you have to get all of that stuff out of your head, and just be sure to use the right words. Those are the most important things. The right words and the right perspective from which you approach anything is what makes it more powerful. Okay, so that's what I suggest. Also, like someone said, they're in a witchy slump. If you're in a witchy slump, you should read witchy books. It's good to get away a little while and escape in a little magical, you know, book. It doesn't have to be like a spell book. It can be fiction. And lately, I've been reading The Witching Hour by Anne Rice. I went ahead and got the trilogy. It comes with 3 books for all the Mayfair, like the Mayfair Witch Chronicles. There's Taltos, and then there's Lasher, and then the Witching Hour. And of course, they have a series. And I think season 2 might come out soon. But the book is not very different, but the book is a little bit different. And if you like New Orleans, and if you like delicious description, like you're being transported to somewhere like New Orleans, this is a really good book to read, because it does have a lot of like descriptions of like New Orleans, old Victorian houses, you know, family secrets, witches, and all that kind of stuff. You know, mental powers with witches, so on and so forth. Synchronicities, like a little secret society that keeps their eye on, you know, supernatural beings. So it's really good. If you're in a witchy slump, to read a witchy fiction. Okay. And also you can learn a lot from these, because a lot of writers who study the occult, who have studied the occult for years, they put a little information that also, you know, is a little true in these books. So you get a lot of information that's also somewhat true in these books. And you, if you're a discerning person, you'll pick up on what, you know, what they're really trying to say sometimes, of what's possible or what's possibly real in the real world in those books. Okay, because they, you know, they give away a lot of the little hidden secrets sometimes through fiction. So if you're in a witchy slump, I do suggest reading witchy books. And Anne Rice is one of the best writers when it comes to description and like describing witchy and vampire things. So I do have that listed in my description bar under the spiritual items I suggest on my Amazon storefront, if you want to, you know, pick up that trilogy. The weird thing about my trilogy set, I bought it in a store, and it was missing the first 55 pages. And I was like, why does this book start on page 55? And it was sealed. It had never been opened. The whole set was sealed in plastic. Like, and then I went to another bookstore, and I looked in the witching, it was only in the witching hour. The other books have all the pages, but in the witching hour, I looked in another set, and a lot of the pages on the first chapter were kind of messed up. So I think they had a printing issue. So if I were you, I would check if you're going to buy the trilogy in a bookstore, or, you know, buy them separately, or just buy the trilogy and hope that they printed them out right. But I don't think any other people had that problem. Maybe it was just mine. So anyway, what I did is I went on YouTube and found the first chapter of The Witching Hour and listened to it on the audiobook. Okay, so I got that out of the way. I'm glad that they had it up there. And that book is really good. It's really addicting. Now, if you're a person that likes to get straight to the point in books, you might want to find a different book to read, because that one just kind of like takes you on a journey of like the history of this family and all this kind of stuff, and through New Orleans and some San Francisco, you know, moments and all this kind of stuff. So if you just like a good, long, detailed story with a lot of description, you should read that. I'm still reading it, and like, I really like it. Okay, another book that I got that I have not read at all, The Nature of Witches. It says it's a New York Times bestseller. It's actually a young adult book, but I started to read a little bit of it, and it seems interesting. It's about witches and the climate, and how they control the climate and the weather and the atmosphere, and like through nature and stuff. So I thought that would be very interesting. I'm going to read that after or during, you know, I read several books at the same time, so we don't know when it's gonna get read. And I also got one more that I could not pass by, because Leonardo da Vinci by Walter Isaacson. This is like a book that's written about his life, and it's by the same guy that wrote the Steve Jobs and Einstein book, like their story. And this guy does extensive research, and he writes very well. So it's kind of like you're getting to know this person as a person, how he tells their story. So it's very good. Leonardo da Vinci is like one of my favorite Renaissance artists and inventors and scientists. It also has pictures in it, color pictures. So, you know, it's a really good book. And there's chapters in there, so you can like skip around. It doesn't read in any type of order, but it's very good. And if you are interested in the history of Leonardo da Vinci, it does touch on his sexuality. It touches on his bloodline, his relatives. Like, you get all the tea. This is like someone is spilling all the tea on Leonardo da Vinci. You get to see everything. This dude went in, okay? It's like, ooh, his cousin, his mama, his what? His daddy, baby mama, his what? It goes in. It's like literally giving all this man's tea, but in a good way. So if you ever wanted to know about Leonardo da Vinci and all his tea, definitely check out this book. I did also put this in that same list for the spiritual items I suggest on my Amazon storefront. It's in the description bar. So, all right. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Oh, okay. So I don't think this is listed in my description bar, but I bought these on Temu. These are like some wood sticks, and they smell so good. They're like incense, but they're made out of I think they're made out of sandalwood, but they smell really good. And it's kind of like you know how y'all have like sandal hollow? Well, it's kind of the same concept. And you light it and just Palo Santo. It's like Palo Santo, but it's like, sorry, y'all. But it's like more of a sandalwood Eastern smell, like incensey Eastern, nice smell. So you can just do this. And these were on Temu. I don't even know how much they cost, but they weren't that expensive. But look how many you get. Okay, look how many you get. You said woo Lasher child. I saw the Mayfair Witch series on AMC. It's pretty good. A lot of people didn't like it, but I thought it was I thought it was good for what it was. They did change some of the characters and like how they looked from the book. But yeah, I get one of these and I just go around my room, make it smell real good. I have my oud burning, but this is just like, you could just lay this on an ashtray or like a wax burner and just let it go. That's what I've been doing. And it's a really nice light smell. And it's really cheap on Temu if you just want something like really small and portable. You could take those anywhere, put them in your purse, burn stuff like wherever you're going. Okay. Okay, one of my new favorite items. Okay, I don't even know if this is a witchy item, but I made it into a witchy item. So there's this company called Old Town Soap Co. And I bought this at a store where they sell like different like small business owned products on like different booths. And they have a website online. I linked it in the description bar. And this is a lotion candle. And you can pour after you light the candle. It smells so good. This one is called Sleepy Time. And it gets you ready for bed. So I like this before I go to bed. And then I pour some of this oil and then I just like massage it into my arms and my legs and my neck. And it smells so good. It's like the smell is so addicting. I don't know. They have different scents that I'm going to go back and get because I'm in like, now I just want all pouring candles because like, why waste the wax when you can like rub it on you? So it gets really soft as the candle burns and it's not hot when you pour it in your hand. It doesn't get that hot. And so it's just warm, which I don't know how that works, but it works. So like, I'm gonna let a little bit burn, but look, just pour some. And oh my gosh, it smells so delicious. They have like really good scents that I'm getting ready to go back and buy because they didn't have the other scents available, but I found it online and I'm going back to purchase. Oh, semi-raw sprinkle, sprinkle. What could it mean to feel pulled into a graveyard? It means go visit the graveyard, man. Ain't nothing wrong with walking through a graveyard. Sprinkle, sprinkle. I used to do it all the time. I used to play in graveyards as kids, teenagers, adults. I used to work at a funeral home and be in the graveyard almost every day. There's nothing wrong with that. I think what it does is it gives you a sense of mortality and lets you, understand that you must live your life for yourself and not nobody else. Live life for yourself and not no one else. Because that's, that's what it is. All those people laying there in the cemetery, you think they had a happy life living for other people and their expectations, or do you think they lived for themselves and made their best life happen? That's what it means to me, to go and look at all the people that are there and realize that you better live your life. You better do what you want. You better please yourself. You better make sure you're making the life that you want, so that when you're done, you're literally done. And you did that. Okay? Not like I wish I could have, would have, should have. Like I did everything I wanted to do. I had a good life. That's what you want to say. I was happy. So I would say go walk around, read some of the graves, maybe do some ghost hunting. They have ghost hunting apps or ghost detecting apps that you can download on your phone. That's what I used to do. Anyway. It's fun. He said, why do I suggest those teacups on Amazon? I don't know which teacups you're talking about, but it's probably because I have them and someone asked me about them. Is it like a green one or like a blue one? It's probably because someone asked me where I got it, and I have that teacup probably. Uh-oh, Sonia, sprinkle, sprinkle. You look beautiful. What is life in code? How does benefit the elite put things into code for us? Why do they do it? I think everything is a code if you're able to decipher it. Those who aren't able to decipher codes don't see the codes. It's like the Matrix. On that movie, The Matrix, where everything looks normal, but then when you start to see symbolism, then everything starts to look like code. That's kind of what The Matrix was about. So until you're able to see it in everything, it's not really a code. When you're able to see it in everything, you can go back and forth when you're ready to see the code. And then when you're not ready to see the code, you just live your life like it's normal. So you can kind of like focus in when you're ready to see the code, or unfocus when you're just ready to live in the Matrix every day. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like that. It's just being hyper aware of the things and then not caring about it and just living life for what it is. Thank you, Cindy Ross. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Low key, you're nervous, but I am going. Thank you, girl. Go in the daytime when it's really pretty, or go in the morning. Okay. Just walk around. It's very peaceful. The frequency, sprinkle, sprinkle. Thank you. Got Complete Idiot's Guide to Alchemy. A supporter since 2015. Finally got it. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Thank you. Thanks for being a supporter. Yeah, that book was one of the books that really got me thinking super deep, on a deeper level, on a more alchemical level, spiritually, like spiritual alchemy at its best. It's learned in a very simple way, and then you apply it to other things. It gives you more insight and wisdom into other things that you read as well. And then you'll start to see more and more if you want to. What is beyond the senses? Beyond the senses. Everything else that's beyond the senses. Like, I think as a body that we enjoy this realm through our senses. And just think if you were a higher being or a being in a different realm that you didn't have these senses to enjoy, that you would have, heightened awareness on a higher level, that you could do way more. But sometimes, like on the Matrix, that man, he wanted to go back to the Matrix and enjoy a steak dinner because he couldn't enjoy it on the higher realm or on the higher plane, because he no longer was able to use his senses. So it's kind of like, when you set out food for your spirits or your ancestors, if y'all have an ancestor altar, or feed spirits or whatever. It's like you're giving them the energy from those, earthly things that they once enjoyed. But beyond the senses is a sense of knowing, a sense of uh, like creation and more. It's like the realm beyond that. And it's also allowing people to like separate their consciousness from their physical body. So, like when people fast or meditate for a long time and only drink water, they're trying to detach from their senses so that they can get a sense of the higher realm. Okay. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Um, thank you. Yeah, so that's what's beyond the senses. Higher consciousness, higher knowledge, higher awareness. Okay, this is a Sheerah goddess channel. Don't ask me stuff from SheRaSeven. Okay. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Mm-hmm. Like anything is possible through your mind. Like you can literally speed up your heart rate just by thinking about something. So just think about that. Just with your thoughts, your imagination, you could actually do the same thing. Now, if you're trying to do anything to change your physical form or your body, I have a piece of hair on my lip gloss. What I suggest, I mean, you don't have to get an anatomy book. Learn anatomy. I know anatomy because I used to be a mortician, but get an anatomy book and learn how things work in your body. And it talks about that too in the witching hour. But if you can picture what things look like in an interior, on an interior scale inside your body, you can literally manifest way better by visualizing those things. Oh, Danielle, sprinkle, sprinkle. SheRa, the abundant spells for my businesses are working. I want to speed it up and make sales for my business faster. What do you suggest? They say sometimes if you do a candle with like coffee grinds in it, the coffee speeds it up. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Mm-hmm. It's kind of like a piece of hair. Mhm. So if you want to do more with your body or health, study anatomy and use those visual pictures when manifesting. Or if you don't want to look through a book, find a YouTube video of what it looks like inside your body when it's doing a certain thing or becoming a certain way, and then use that to visualize. Some people don't like the grossness of reality, like what it really looks like. But if you can just imagine it in a more like textbook way, it's also okay. You said Saint Expedite and coffee grind. Yeah. Yeah, expedite this faster, please. Get you a Saint candle and some coffee grinds for sure, for sure. But if you don't have access to those types of candles or those Saint candles, maybe you can just write the name on there and his information. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Yep. I used to like when I used to do spell work for people, I would have so many candles burning in my house. It felt like the heater was on. Man, I remember those days. Uh-oh, Jaslyn, sprinkle, sprinkle, thank you. I used to have like 10 candles going at the same time. It was crazy. Have you read any of the Gallery of Magic books? Archangel Magic, Diva Magic? I don't think I've read any of those books. Mm-mm. Sprinkle, sprinkle. I mean, I have a lot of books on archangels. I have books on everything, but I don't think I've read the particular books you might be asking about. Mm-hmm. Okay. And if anything is not going your way, raise your confidence level and what your abilities are, you know, and also change your perspective on a lot of things, change your perspective on a lot of things. Y'all have to remember one thing. If you've done a protection spell on yourself, if you've done a spell on yourself or on your family to only allow good things and to protect yourself, remember that spell is always working. That spell is always working. So if something doesn't work out in your favor, it could be for your protection. If you've done protection spells against yourself or on yourself, I don't say against, but on yourself. If you've done protection on yourself or on your family or on your loved ones, and when you're trying to do a spell that's not working for a person, for an opportunity, it's protection. It's protection. That doesn't mean you can't do something right. It means your protection spell is kicking in and it's not for you. Try something different. Try a different perspective, right? For example, I always tell people, because they always ask me, I want this person to leave this person and be with me. Okay. Most of the time, for your protection, it's best for their partner to leave them versus them leaving their partner. Because let me tell you why. Because if they find out that that man was doing wrong, or if they find out that that person was, sneaking around, there could be some repercussions maybe. But if that person leaves first, or they find another man and free up the one you want, it's a win-win. So instead of doing a spell for him to leave the woman, do a spell for his woman to find a better man. You see, loopholes. Or instead of saying, okay, well, you can't get a raise, or you can't, instead do a spell for the person who's not giving you a raise to be fired, or to move on to a higher position, to where someone who likes you moves into their position and who will give you a raise. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of times y'all need to find the loopholes in your spell work, or in your perspective, or in your magic, instead of focusing on one thing, so attack it from different angles. That way it's going to work. I mean, who would have thought? Okay. Yes. Well, I want him to do this and I want him to do that. Well, he ain't going to do it if he still have options. So take away the option. Let his woman find a man. Yeah, sprinkle, sprinkle. All right. Take it from different perspectives. And that's all you have to do. You said redirection is always protection. That's right, Goddess Serenade. That's right. Okay. And a lot of y'all don't realize that sometimes it's best to do something different and to approach things from a different angle. It's best for everyone involved. Okay. You said, should you always wear black to feel witchy? If you want to. I'll wear whatever I got on. If I want to feel extra witchy, I'll dress extra witchy. But if I want to feel like a goddess, I'm going to dress like a goddess. If I want to feel like, whatever. I'm a dress like whatever because like I really don't have a label. I just do what I want. Like it just means a wise person, a wise woman. So I'm wise no matter what I got on. Okay. I'm a goddess, you know. Witchy things, I think, is a good word to describe anything that people would deem witchy or witchcraft like, you know. I like to use the word as a descriptive word, but I don't label myself that unless I just don't feel like explaining a bunch of stuff to people. Then they'll be like, well, you know, she's a witch, right? I'm like, yeah, so and what? I'm a lot of things. Add it to your list. Okay. You know, and it's so funny because a lot of people don't realize, you know, a lot of things about me and they just assume that I'm something else or believe this or believe that. And then, you know, when they find out the truth, I'm like, nobody was hiding it. You just weren't aware of it. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Okay. What are signs you should unbind someone when you don't want them no more? Duh, sprinkle, sprinkle. Well, you're done with them. Okay. You said what? Ghost encounters. Okay. You said you can dress like a white witch sometimes. Ha ha ha. I could dress like anything. I got a huge wardrobe. Okay. Thoughts on love spells. They should already love you before you put a love spell on them. So, for example, if they're already in love with you, or if they already love you, or if they've already said they loved you, then you're more than welcome to put a love spell on someone because they've already told you that they loved you, proved that they loved you, and this will just make the love stronger and last longer. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing wrong with that. But if someone doesn't love you, don't want you, wants other people, wants someone else, and you try to make them love you, they can't love someone that they don't love. It's not gonna happen. Oh, like, think about this. If the ugliest man, the grossest man put a love spell on you, are you gonna love them? I'm not saying you're gross and ugly, but I'm just saying if someone doesn't love you or doesn't want you, a spell is not gonna change that. They have to be attracted to you. They have to have some type of physical be drawn to you physically. They can love you like what kind of love are you talking about? Romantic love? Because they can love you like a friend, and that's as far as it's gonna go. So they got to be interested. They got to be wanting you already. They got to be on the verge of almost falling in love with you. They got to be like some type of intimate relationship with you before you can do that. Otherwise, you're just wasting your time. Okay, you can do an attraction spell or a lust spell. Those are going to be more powerful to someone who doesn't love you. Okay? Then like you do all of those, do attraction, do lust, and then once you pull them in, then you can do the love spell. Yeah. Okay. Sprinkle, sprinkle. All right. I'm not answering any questions for the other channel. This is a sheer goddess channel. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Okay. So you do a lust spell, look it up online. There's so many lust spells online. There's make up your own or do your own research, buy a book. You know, there's lots of lust spells that you could just go find and do or make up your own. I might put one out there one day. We'll see. I know using a lot of red, a lot of cinnamon, a lot of like jasmine oil uh, are good in lust spells. Okay. Working with like for lust. Okay. How do you manifest a busy, successful modeling career? I don't know. I don't have a busy, successful modeling career. But if I were, I would just make sure that a lot of people knew, you know, what I could do and, advertise, advertise, advertise. I don't know. I would just do it for myself until somebody wanted me to model for them. Like literally, just do it on your own until someone wants you to do it for them. You probably get paid doing it more on your own. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Do I sell Jezebel oil? I don't know if my store still carries that, but you can make your own if you get the Jezebel root and put it in some oil. You can probably do that. Simmer it in a little oil for like on low for like 2 minutes. Strain it, put it in a bottle. It's this my store, Dark Realm Online Occult Shop.com. It's linked in the description bar at the bottom or close to the bottom. Maybe, I don't know, somewhere in there. Not my Etsy store, but it's another store that sells occult items. You can find it there. The root and make your own. Like if you're already doing something and someone needs someone that looks like you or has your talent, they don't have to go and find and train someone. They could just go grab you because you've already been doing it for years. You know what I'm saying? So do it on your own until somebody recognizes your skills and talents. Okay. And then you can also manifest for, lots of prosperity doing those things on your own. Someone says, post yourself singing on. Yeah, a lot of y'all. Okay, now here's the thing I want to tell y'all. A lot of y'all look for people to give you deals and contracts when you can be doing that stuff on your own for yourself, making all the money. You know what I'm saying? Instead of a fraction of the money. Okay. A lot of y'all don't realize that a lot of people that are more independent make more money because they get more of the profit and they're not told what to do by other people. So for example, if you get a record deal, if somebody signed you, you got to go on 20 tours and only get $5,000 at the end of the day, you're going to be looking stupid. Okay. Yeah, you might be famous, but your bank account ain't looking right. So do it on your own first, make all the money. And when someone approaches you with a deal or a contract, you're not desperate. You're not going to hop on the worst thing or the worst contract that's first offered to you. You're going to say, well, no, I think because I make so much money on my own, I think I'm going to need a bigger cut and I'm going to need this to say this and I'm going to need to say that and I'm not going to do this and I'm not going to do that. When you're already successful by doing something on your own, you can be picky. You can get the most out of it. But if you're desperately searching for recognition and a deal, and if you're desperately searching for people to make you into what you already are supposed to be on your own, that's when you fall into the desperate, act of never getting what you're really due. Okay. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Do it on your own. Okay. And then when you make a name for yourself, here come the money. You're going to start your karaoke jams. Yeah, do what you got to do, ma'am. Do it because you love it, not because you want to get famous. That's the one thing I'm going to tell y'all. Do what you want because you love it, not because you're trying to get famous. Because a lot of people got famous and still end up broke. Okay? You want the money, not the fame. Fame is easy to get. All you got to do is go on TikTok and twerk. Okay? Money, on the other hand, that's what you want. Focus on the money. Do prosperity spells. And whatever your talent is, that's how your prosperity is going to come. However it's supposed to come in the easiest and the fastest, that's how it's going to come. So Instead of being desperate looking for deals and people to, put you on, you know, manifest abundance and prosperity and, all those things, financial increase. Whatever you're doing, that's how it's going to get done. That's how you're going to increase. So do what you love. Don't seek fame, seek money. And if you're good at what you do and people like it, then fame is the byproduct. It's the byproduct, not the main goal. It is the byproduct. Fame was always the byproduct of anything. People just lost focus and made it tried to make it the illusion that it was what people sought after. People didn't seek after fame. They sought after money, skill, and, whatever else. The byproduct of all those things was fame. And let me show you the main one. Leonardo da Vinci. If you look back at an artist's life, an inventor's life, a scientist's life, they're not looking for fame. They're doing what they love and they do it well. And the byproduct is fame. He got paid, he got commissioned for all his artwork, all his stuff, all his inventions and stuff that he made for different sets of royalty, blah, 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 blah. He was about his money. Okay. Not the fame. He was about the science, the love of his art and what he did. And the byproduct was fame. Sprinkle, sprinkle. So can I speak more about mentalism and how to be less emotional? It's your perspective that makes you emotional. So what perspective are you looking at your issue from? Is it to gain? Is it to learn? Is it to create? Or are you just being trapped in your feelings for that one moment? I'm not making decisions based on a temporary feeling. I'm making decisions based on what's best for me in the future, in the present, and for those that I love. So if overreacting emotionally is not best for any of those things, I'm just going to choose not to do it because it's not going to bring me anything that I want. So I'm going to really think before I act. Literally, I'm not going to react. I'm going to think. I'm going to be calculating in my mind. How can I get the most out of this situation? Then I'm going to act. That's it. Sprinkle, sprinkle. You control it by your perspective. What is your goal? Sprinkle, sprinkle. Is there any time I prioritize feelings instead of facts? Yes, when I already know the person is going to give me what I want anyway, regardless. That's when. Sprinkle, sprinkle. When you can be your true self and say what you truly mean and how you truly feel around a person because you know what they're going to do anyway, then that's when. But if you're in a situation where you're unsure how the person is going to react or how the situation is going to turn out, then you better start using logic. Okay? And when you can predict the future, no matter what you do, no matter how you're acting and how emotional you are, and you know the future is going to be exactly what you know it's going to be because you know the circumstance, then that's when you can do it. But if you don't, then you better start thinking before you act. Okay, because that's what I would do. I'm not getting ready to react and then see what you're gonna do if I don't have a backup plan. You better have a backup plan if you're just gonna react over everything. Okay. How does my husband feel about me using spells on him? He's flattered. I mean, who wouldn't be flattered if someone like me put a spell on them? I could have put it on someone else. You better be lucky it was him. Sprinkle, sprinkle. So, perspective. Mm-hmm. Besides, who cares? I think he likes it secretly. So you think your ex put a spell on you? Is there a smell to be less emotional towards family? You mean a aromatherapy to be less emotional towards family? Yes, fresh air outside away from them. That smell. The smell of outside. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Okay. When did I tell my husband I do magic? Well, I told him that I was a mortician the first night that we met. And I was wearing black and red. Um, and I was a witch for Halloween for like almost every year. And then I was always burning candles and incense and had a bunch of tarot cards everywhere. I mean, if he couldn't figure it out, then I don't know what to tell him. Sprinkle, sprinkle. I didn't hide it. I didn't care. Like I know he's gonna like me anyway. If you tell an old man you do magic and you know tarot cards, he's gonna start telling you about the time that he was in New Orleans. I remember when I went to New Orleans and I saw all the people out there reading cards. They have all these little shops that sell stuff and candles and stuff. You be doing that voodoo? I said, yeah, I did some on you. Then they look at you kind of weird and then just keep going. So yeah, there's okay, so here's the thing. If your man or you're dating whoever is over religious, they might have a problem with it. If they're not, they probably won't care or they'll be interested. If you're always a witch as a kid on Halloween to the Wicked Witch from the Wizard of Oz. Oh, you were alchemical dragon? Yeah. I think most of the years of my life dressing up for Halloween, I've been a witch. Been a witch, a vampire, Little Red Riding Hood, Michael Jackson, a, a Hogwarts student. What else? A magician, um, fortune teller, um, probably some other stuff too. Can't remember. A nun, the scary one from the movie. Girl, I've been everything. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Some of them are actually on my Vlogtober vlogs and the playlist for Vlogtober. Yeah, y'all go find the Halloween ones. Y'all will probably see a few of my costumes. Mm-hmm. How do you get over doubt and criticism in your 20s? Do you live for everybody in your 20s? Do you wake up every day saying, who can I please? And who do I care most about what they think about me? And how am I going to live my life for these people today? Do you do that every morning? If the answer is no, then why are you worried about it? Do what you want. If you wake up for people, you're waking up for the wrong reason, unless those are your kids. If you wake up to please other people, you waking up for the wrong reason. Go back to bed and wake up for yourself. Okay? And when you wake up for yourself, go do what you want. And when you go do what you want, don't care what people think about it. And then you'll find this thing called happiness and content. And you won't be worried about what other people think of you because you're so happy and content. And if they want to be in your life, then they're going to have to accept whatever it is that they need to accept. Okay? 'Cause I don't wake up for other people. I wake up for me and my kids. That's it. I don't try to please anybody else. They better be trying to please me. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Okay. That's the attitude you need to have in your 20s. What can we decode from the new Dune movie? Never seen it. Semi-raw, sprinkle, sprinkle. To me, those type of movies aren't drawing me in because I don't like those type of movies. If it's just a bunch of desert and sand and boring colors, I'm not watching it. Sorry. I need color, I need action, I need some sprinkles and some sparkles, some magic or something, man. Those kind of it tastes like, you know, when you go to the movies, you need a bunch of water because your mouth gonna get dry and you might fall asleep. I'm not saying the movie is bad or boring, but it's not drawing me in to go see it. You know, I need the color. It's not really just drawing me in. So I probably won't even watch it. Okay. Sprinkle, sprinkle. I need to see some action, some colors, some sprinkles, some sparkles, some magic. I'm just like, you know, some thrills. It's too blah for me. My eyes did not want to see it. Okay. But I'm sorry. If you enjoyed the movie, you know, I'm glad you did, but I don't want to watch it. Okay. It seems like a movie you would only go see with a man because he wanted to see it. You know what I'm saying? It seems like one of the movies you get drugged to by some dude and you know you don't want to see it. That's how it seems to be. Okay. Mm. You said you're gonna go watch Maxine when it comes out? Pearl, the girl that played Pearl. Yeah. Uh-oh, Jamie, sprinkle, sprinkle. Do you practice astral traveling? Do you believe dreams are alternate realities? Not really. I don't believe dreams are alternate realities unless it's a certain kind of dream. But no, I don't believe that they're alternate realities. What I feel like a dream is sometimes, especially if they're weird, just, you know, your subconscious mind trying to tell you stuff. And I mean, there's a subconscious realm, which is a lot of times what people are dreaming in. So, I mean, technically, it's the subconscious realm um, that you're, you know, expressing through your dreams. If you were wise, it was wise of you not to. What movie do you recommend? Sprinkle, sprinkle. I watched the Tarot movie. That was okay. I watched the Amy Winehouse movie. That one was okay. I watched Garfield with my kids. That one was like silly. Um, can't remember what other movie I watched lately. I don't know. I just watch whatever the kids want to watch. And I have to definitely agree to it first. But as far as movies like on TV, like shows, I've been watching Interview with the Vampire. Um, I've been watching just I like witchy shows and stuff like that. Anything that has to do with those sort of things, anything like vampire or witchy, I like to watch it. Um, and it depends on what time of year it is, too. I'm really not watching too many shows right now. I only go to the movies my kids want to see. I'm mostly reading books or just doing other things. Yeah, The Craft was good. Those are like old movies that I thought everyone had seen. Twilight, I could only watch the first one. Um, Let me think of some movies that were kind of good. Oh, I saw this one vampire movie based in New Orleans. I forgot the name of it, but it was kind of funny. I don't remember it. It's like one of those B movies. I can't remember the name. So what my kids and I like to do sometimes at home is find like the worst horror movies that are like B movies, like badly made movies that they have on like Netflix or Prime or something, because we like to see like the quality, the horrible quality and the funny like effects and the bad writing. Like we like to laugh at it. But sometimes they be good. You know, sometimes those movies are good. You said camp movies? Yeah. We like to watch a lot of those and sometimes we find a good one. Like I'll just get my remote and do the voice thing and say vampire movies. And like all the vampire movies will come up and I'll look through one that looks funny or like the Tubi movies, yeah, a B movie, or sometimes if I want to watch a good one, I'll watch it like a quality one, but sometimes I'll watch the B movies just to laugh. What are my thoughts on karma in the afterlife? Um, I'm not of that religion that practices or believes in karma, so I don't know. You know, a lot of people adopt different things from different religions and make it part of their spirituality. I don't do that unless I feel like it works for me. So that's something that doesn't work for me. And so I don't adopt it. Okay. So yeah, it's only if you believe in it and you adopt that into your own personal spirituality. Okay. Do you believe in intuition? Intuition is, I think it's a chemical thing, especially when you feel like your senses are heightened and your frequency is on alert because of things around you or people around you or situations. So I think intuition is more physical than it is spiritual. A lot of people don't realize that. Hmm. You said if you don't believe in karma, how are you going to leave Earth after I die? The same way I did the first time, the second time, the third time, or however many times that I've been here. The same way water does. Does water believe in karma? Water has been here since day one. So remember that. The water that you're drinking right now has been here since the beginning. Oh, Malik, sprinkle, sprinkle of the universe. Thank you, Malik. Appreciate that. If it's limiting, I don't believe it. How about that? That's my motto. If it's limiting, I don't believe it. You think tarot can become toxic if you do it too much and start depending and relying on it? Yeah. You become addicted to it. Yeah. Anything can be toxic if you do it too much. So what happens to all the evil people? And I don't know what happens to them, babe. The same thing that happened to the good people. Because there aren't evil people. There are people that make bad decisions. So you could label someone evil, right? And then they can turn around and do the best thing for people ever. That one thing that made them evil was an action. So people that do evil, what about people that continuously to do evil? Because at one time or another, people have done evil things. Okay. So you said Hitler was evil. Yeah, because he was a sexually repressed, um, he was a sexually oppressed homosexual. So he took it out on the rest of the world. So like when you're talking about evil, you got to trace back what's really evil. Was it evil to, you know, evil starts somewhere. It starts from not being accepted. Think about all the serial killers and people that grew up to kill people. Somebody was evil to them first. Somebody suppressed them, abused them, told them this, and that made them that way. So you could have a priest, a nun, a school teacher, or a parent to make someone feel less than or be abusive towards them or be evil towards them, maybe, a handful of times out of their life or a major time in their life. And then that person can turn around and become one of the most evil acting people that you've ever seen because that's all they've been taught. That's all they've been receiving. So that's why I'm telling y'all, there's evil acting people, but people aren't necessarily evil because they can change. Sprinkle, sprinkle. So what happens to all the evil people? Well, they can either change, stay the same, or become good, or stay evil. That's what can happen to them. They have free will. Doesn't everybody have free will? Then that's what happens to them, whatever they choose to do. Okay. Mm-hmm. So we all make choices. Exactly. So everything is perspective and everything is choice. Do you believe that we can manifest people to change if they have to want that for themselves? I think you can influence people to change, but I don't think you can make them change or force them to change. I think you can lead by example. And if they follow your example, that's the best way to change someone, is to make them think that they changed themselves on their own. So, like, a lot of people like to use reverse psychology. A lot of people like to use examples or influence, or, if someone looks up to someone, they're literally just going to follow them and change their ways. I mean, you can look at it and see it everywhere on social media. As soon as a style or a song or a new aesthetic or a new saying is highly popularized, everyone's doing it. So you don't have to manifest someone to change. You just influence them to change by your actions. Okay. So the devil really doesn't exist. Have you ever seen the devil? You know what I'm saying? Has anybody, there's pictures of aliens. There's pictures of Bigfoot. Have you ever seen a picture of the devil? Sprinkle, sprinkle. There's people that believe in Bigfoot more. All right. I missed your super chat. Hold on, let me see. What can we decode from? Okay, I already read that one. Thank you, hot girl. Thank you. So where do you decode to find out what new technology or message is being sent out, or the knowledge books remind you it's all recycled? It's all recycled, literally. The best thing I can tell you is that there are cycles, and you can tell when you're approaching a cycle when certain things starts to happen, and that you are going to see a lot more revealed at certain times. Revelations. It's a cycle. It happens over and over and over. That's why every couple of years you get, some people spill some tea on some other people, and then things, happen as they happen. So it's like a recycling of all the stuff that's, when they say what's in the dark comes to the light. It's just like that. Revelations, things are being revealed, and that's literally it. If you're hyper aware and you pay close attention to little details, they will tell you, because the elites or the rich or the higher ups get the information first. So the best places to look are the stock markets, the real estate, what's happening in real estate and the stock markets, all the things that make the most money. That's what you look at first. What are they doing? That's how you're going to get the clues as to what to prepare for. Okay. So for example, I said this on my last couple of videos. I saw a lot of houses for sale and, near the beach or near Galveston, which means bad hurricane season is coming. All these people are selling these beautiful old Victorian luxurious Airbnbs all at once at the same time. Okay. That means, okay, prepare for that storm season. A lot of people are investing in different companies because they know a lot of certain types of stores are getting ready to close because, everybody's shopping online now. And which means that, there's going to be less jobs. A lot of people are seeing AI and technology take over certain people's jobs. So that means people need to start getting skills that are not easily replaced by AI or technology. People need to start figuring out several streams of income because physical and manual labor that a robot and AI can do that's what it's going to go to in the future. So people need to stop depending on certain jobs that are, things that are not going to be there in the future. They need to wake up and start creating something for themselves, not trying to find a job, not trying to hang on to the last straw, but to create something for themselves. A long time ago, they say, in the future, you will walk with the gods, walk as a god, be a god yourself, be a goddess yourself, because you're in control of your own, creation, creating what you want, the type of world that you want. We have all this technology and all these ways to make our own money. That's what we need to be focused on right now. This is what this time is for. And all the distractions and things that are distracting you are not allowing you to create the life that you want. So that's what I'm focused on. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Focus on creating your life and what you want, and stop focusing on nothing that can't help you. Okay. All right. Sprinkle, sprinkle. And if you do that, you're going to see a huge difference in how good your life goes. Winning the lotto spells. Only poor people play the lotto. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Take all that money and invest it into something, or save it, or invest it back into yourself, or start a small business instead of playing the lotto. Sprinkle, sprinkle. That's just the truth. Okay, send me raw sprinkle, sprinkle. Thank you, girl. All right. Yeah. Witching is about manifestation. Exactly. How do you transmute anger into money? Have an outlet for your anger that earns you money. Okay, whether it's writing, drawing, filming, photography, working out so that you look good in pictures, so you could get money from, modeling something. I don't know. Whatever your way to get money is, put it towards that. Okay. Somebody said be creative, be productive. Whatever is going to get you a good result, whatever is going to get you paid, put it towards that. Okay. Like, I don't like to waste energy. So I'm going to put it towards something that's going to get me what I want, or get me something. I don't like to just waste it away. I'm going to use it and channel it to get something else, Okay. You said best revenge. Yeah. When you're angry, sometimes your mind is very stimulated and you can come up with really good ideas for stuff. If you're a creative type, if you're a writer, a business person, maybe come up with really good business ideas. So use that energy to get paid or to improve yourself. That's it. I don't think anger should be wasted when you can channel it into something productive. Okay. You said best revenge is your paper, always. Sprinkle, sprinkle. How to get your magic to affect and influence others? By making sure that you're confident in it and confident in yourself and your lifestyle. So for example, like the best form of magic is literally glamour magic and mental magic. Okay. When people see you, and when people see how confident you are, and when people see how, it's helped you to get where you got, that's the best form of magic. Because you're sure of yourself, you're sure of your magic, you're sure of your manifestation, you're confident, and you're leading other people to be the same way, and their magic is going to work a lot better. You don't enter into anything with doubt. Use all my powers to benefit myself. Yes. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Do I have any favorite teas? I have so many teas. I think I like more of the teas in the fall, like the spiced teas, the pumpkin spiced teas, the apple and cinnamon. I like more of the fall types of teas and the autumn teas. In the summer, I drink mostly cold, like fruit beverages with this is like a dragon fruit splash. So I like those like fruity teas. Okay. What time of day is spell casting the most powerful, morning or night? It depends on what spell you're doing. I'm doing if you're doing something like positive and like manifesting, it doesn't really matter what time of day you're doing it. If you go by the moon, if you go by the hour, some people do things by the hour according to their the angel at the hour or whatever. Some people, there's different types of magic. So whatever works best for you, that's what you do. I could do it anytime. It don't matter. Uh-oh. A peak shot. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Thank you. Okay. Thank you for the super chat. Appreciate it. What should you do in your 20s? Have fun. And don't be a people pleaser. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Make smart decisions. Do you think there's a spiritual prison for people who do bad things on earth? Only if they believe that there is, and only if they believe that they're going to go there. You judge yourself. Oh, Leah, sprinkle, sprinkle. Any advice for doing professional spell work? Make sure it looks professional and be a professional. Act professional, present yourself professional, do everything very professional. And have confidence, and don't allow people to take advantage of you by texting you too much, asking you questions without charging them. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Yeah. So, yeah, I think like your own consciousness and your own thoughts form, whatever happens to your consciousness, where it thinks it's supposed to go, it's going to create that reality and go there. So if you want to think you're going somewhere fun or coming back or doing whatever you want to do or whatever, that's what's going to happen. That's why in religion, they brainwash and teach you that if you are bad in real life, send yourself to hell. That's why they say, go to hell. They don't say, they're not going to say, you know what, you chose that choice and I don't like it, but they're going to give you a place to take yourself. Okay. So when someone says go to hell, they're literally subconsciously programming you to take yourself to a fictitious place to torture yourself because you didn't obey them, or you didn't live by society's rules, or you messed up, or they want you to feel some type of guilt because of what you've done. And maybe sometimes what you've done was wrong. Maybe you should send yourself there, but it's all mental. Okay, sprinkle, sprinkle. You said, how can you own your life in your parents' strict Christian house? You can't move out. You could get a job and say, love to move out, or you can meet a man who's going to give you money to move out. The whole key point is to move out. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Oh, Loverly, or just ignore them. Loverly Leo, thank you. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Or just totally rebel. I'm going to be like, you know what? I would just totally rebel. What they going to do? You know what? And I'm going to tell y'all something. It's better to totally rebel in a household like that and tell them, you know, Mom, it could be worse. I could be doing A, B, C, and D. So it's sometimes if you just say, you know what, I don't believe in what you believe in. I don't do this. I don't want to do that anymore. But I could be doing way worse. So at least give me this much respect and freedom to read and believe what I want, because I didn't get a choice when I was a child because you forced your religion upon me. And if you don't allow me this freedom, when I grow up and get grown and leave this house, I will totally go the opposite way if you don't let me explore my own thoughts and my own thinking. You know, you can literally sit down and talk to them like a sane person. You know, I was like, you know what? I didn't get a chance to choose my own religious or spiritual path because you forced it on me. I'm going to ask you right now to allow me to explore my thoughts in different areas without you being so strict, because it's going to push me totally in the opposite direction. And you don't want that. So you need to speak up for yourself. I'm not getting ready to live under some dumb rules that I didn't get to choose. Okay. What if you're intentionally doing things to harm others? Wouldn't you be going to hell? People do things to intentionally harm others every day and they get paid for it. So are they going to hell, or are they just doing their job? Because in the army or in the military, when people sign up, they literally get paid to go shoot and kill and bomb. So are they going to hell, or are they being celebrated as a hero? You choose. It depends on why you're doing those things. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Nothing's ever really black and white. Mm-hmm. I used to be the only child, then we moved in with your stepdad, and now he's the youngest. Oh, okay. Sprinkle, sprinkle. But let me tell y'all a secret. Those people who want hell to exist because they want to know justice, because they can't sleep at night unless they know that there's justice in the world. That's why there's a justice system, and that's not even 100%. Okay. Um, just like there's loopholes in the law, there's loopholes in the spiritual law. Just like there's lawyers who can get you off for whatever, there's knowledge, wisdom, and mentalism that can get you off from thinking certain things. So the law and magic and words and spells go hand in hand in mentalism. It all works together. You know, if you are walking around saying, if I do that, it's a crime and I will get, you know, judged for that crime, you're not going to do it, right? But if there's some people that sometimes are above the law and they can get away with certain things, but that doesn't mean they're right or wrong. But sometimes it still doesn't mean that they're going to go to a prison cell. You know what I mean? So you got to think of it like that. There's always that gray area. Now, should they get punished? Probably yes. But do they? Probably not always. Just depending on their methods. Okay. Judge yourself based on your philosophy. It has to add up and logical actions have consequences. Yes. So if your logic paints a picture of something more positive happening to you, then that's what's going to happen. How do you reprogram having moral consciousness? Create your own moral consciousness that works in your favor. And yeah, because there's people that have adopted people's morals consciousness that doesn't work in their favor. If it's not working in your favor, then you don't need to do it. So for example, if obeying someone who's saying something stupid to you that doesn't make sense because of what morals say, if it doesn't make sense to you and it's not helping you and it's hindering you, then you need to be smart enough to change your own personal morals from the morals that you were given. See, a lot of people have been given morals. They haven't created their own. When you are confident in yourself and you trust yourself, you can give yourself your own morals. You don't need to go by society's morals if they don't make sense to you and if they're not helpful. This is why a lot of people change things, because think about 100 years ago, what was morally correct is no longer morally correct because people change things. Everything is constantly changing. What was once considered, you know, morally right is now could literally be considered morally wrong. So they change. That's because it's all man-made, exactly. The sprinkle, sprinkle. Yes, ma'am. Yes, Miss Barbie, yes. You know a guy that was intentionally spreading disease to others and just died, and he thinks it was a good thing because someone infected him. Well, you know, I think there's a law against that, and that law was put in place, and that was his morality. And that's probably why they have better medications and stuff for stuff like that now, because of people like that. So if you really think about it, now I'm not saying he was right or wrong, but stuff like that makes people want to put out the cure faster because now more people are going to be exposed to certain things. So now instead of keeping the cure for themselves or keeping the cure away from the public and making them buy this and buy that, they just put it out now or close enough to the cure because of people like that. So you have your necessary evil, if you think about it, because when it was first discovered, it was only to affect gay men. Then when it started affecting straight people, then that's when they started coming out with all the medications, and life expectancy all of a sudden got longer and da 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 da, because it was not in their control anymore when the disease was put out. So by them doing such a thing, even though it was morally incorrect, caused other people to do the morally correct thing. You see? So you said the law of correspondence. Now, you can't fix something until it's broken. Sprinkle, sprinkle. The world is not black and white. It's gray. It's all different shades of gray. It's not black and white. If you try to see things from a black and white perspective, you're always going to find the gray areas. That's why there's, even if you turn off the lights and turn them back on, there's going to be shadows, lights, darks, and grays. There's never just going to be black and white, because then we'd be in the 2D. We'd be in 2D. We wouldn't be in 3D. That's deep, right? We'd be an idea on a paper. We wouldn't even be real. We wouldn't be in the 3D form if there were no gray areas. That's why the chessboard is black and white, and the figures that stand upon it cast shadows, and there's gray areas. That's why each piece has different moves and different rules. And then you, as the chess player, oversee the entire thing. You become like the god or the goddess. And you are the fourth dimension, or in the fifth dimension of that game. So it's not black and white. That's just the 2D flat version. Okay. It's a bird's eye view, baby. That means the flat chessboard that has the black and white is 2-dimensional. 2-dimensional is a drawing on a piece of paper across. 3-dimensional is when you start to build up. So you draw a circle on a piece of paper. That's 2D. Take a ball of clay and form 3-dimensional sphere. Then you put that 3-dimensional sphere on that 2D paper, and then it casts a shadow, which causes gray areas. Now that gray area is what creates this reality, 3D from 2D. And then to 4D, which is like, okay, so now that we have AI and technology, it's easier for us to experience 4D and 5D, which is like the fourth dimension is the bird's eye, the transparency, the X-ray, the interdimensional aspects of 3D. And then 5D is us being able to experience the ever-changingness. That's why when you see AI and it's a picture, it's ever-changing. It's all realms at once, all time periods. And so you can see 5D literally through AI. So for example, if you dress a certain way and maybe the stuff in your house is not looking like super futuristic, it's more classic, you wouldn't be able to tell what time period someone was in by a photo unless you saw telltale signs, which means you could literally be in any time or dimension and not get noticed. So like when you see the AI thing and you see like it keep changing into like, if you do an AI person and their outfits are going to change from historical outfits to futuristic outfits to present day outfits, their face is going to change with facial hair, no facial hair, different styles, so that's literally 5D. Sprinkle, sprinkle. So when you are looking at things from a certain perspective and you get technology to help you see it from that perspective, there's now more than gray areas. Now there's multiverse. Now there's multiples. multiple versions of you, multiple versions of this, multiple versions of that, multiple perspectives. So that's why I'm saying when you try to label someone something, when you try to make something black and white, you're thinking in a lower realm. You got to think on a higher level. Just like I'm not getting ready to think about something that's black and white. That makes no sense. I'm a 3, 4, 5 dimensional being. I'm not getting ready to think of something on a flat surface. I'm more advanced than that, physically, not just spiritually or mentally, but literally physically. Okay. Okay. Witchy talk. And this is why, like, people would label women certain things like witches, and they would be flying on a broom because they would have that bird's eye view and they could see things. They could astral travel. They could see from the 4th dimension. They could see perspective. Could see a lot of stuff. Versus the 2D thinking people, the black and white thinking people. This is another reason why a lot of people that were labeled witches or knew things, you know, their mind was more open to higher dimensions based on how they thought, how they refused to see things in black and white and chose to see it from different perspectives, chose to reject the black and white rules, and chose to accept, you know, no limitations. Yeah. So when you stop choosing limits, that's when your mind literally starts to evolve to see past the 3rd dimension, when you stop accepting limits. So I keep referring to the Matrix movie, but literally, when you don't see limits anymore, your mind surpasses the 3rd dimension. And it's like you're always just like quick with everything because you see it coming, just like on the Matrix, like whatever, you know, I'm above all of that. So that's how you have to think. That's how you have to operate. There's no black and white. Never was. It's all an illusion. Thank you, Pretty Pancakes. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Have I always been a spiritual person? Ever since I could remember. Yep. Yeah. How do you see more for you? Start seeing yourself as limitless. That's number 1. Stop thinking in a limited capacity. That's all you. That's the first step you need to do. Stop fearing everything. Learn about it so you don't fear it, and start seeing yourself as a limitless being. If you're scared of stuff, if you fear stuff, if you live by different rules that you did not accept but were forced upon you, you have to like let all of that go and then recreate your, you know, the way that you think. So for example, it's very simple. If you just know that you're a limitless being and they tried to put limits on you, know that you are very powerful but they tried to tell you that you weren't. It's something like that. Know that you have more insight than they want you to think you have, so they narrow it to a black and white perspective. So if you have a bunch of beings that are able to operate and see from 4th, 5th, and 6th dimensions, you're going to try to, you know, suppress that knowledge into only 2D and 3D out with fear. Okay. But if you know that you're a limitless being, no matter what people tell you, you're not going to believe it anyway. You know what I'm saying? If you already know. It's like, yeah, okay, sure. And it's hard. It's very hard because a lot of people haven't realized that they're limitless. But it's very hard to deal with people who want to continue pushing fear or to continue telling people that this is black and white or this is wrong and this is right. There's too many people that continuously want to judge other people from a 2D perspective. So this is free will is very powerful. Yes, Ms. Barbie. Free will is very powerful. It allows you to have limitless thinking. And that's why I wrote this book, How to Manifest with Magic and Dark Cosmic Energy. It has you limitless in your mind and your mentality to create what you want. It's on Amazon. Y'all get it. So don't limit yourself. Don't limit yourself with religion. Don't limit yourself with fear. Don't limit yourself with doubt. Don't limit yourself with what somebody said. You are limitless. And if you choose to believe that you have limits, that's what you're going to be working with, limits. Okay? Because your mind is what creates those limits. Y'all remember that show a long time ago, The Outer Limits, where anything was possible? Oh, hey, Nicole, sprinkle, thank you, girl. I appreciate it. Or the show, The Twilight Zone. Twilight is the time between dusk and dawn, when there's no black or white, but it's that gray area. Okay. It's not yet dark and it's not yet light. It's that gray area, the in between, the limitless area. So that's why they name a lot of those things that in those old TV shows. And it's funny how they put it in black and white because they couldn't have it in color. Anyway. But the thinking and the concepts of those old Twilight Zone TV shows allows you to think outside the black and white, which is genius. Okay. I used to watch those all the time before I went to bed when I was a kid. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Thank you. Yeah. What you got? You like my rings? Thank you. This will go to good use. All right. Good night. I'll talk to you in a few. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Yes. Anyway. Limitless thinking, darling. Keep your thinking limitless. Would I like to send you some free products to try? How do I do that? It depends on what your products are. You know, I can't take everything from everyone, but I can show them. Contact me on Instagram on my SheRaSeven and make sure your first sentence is about business. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm only going to read the little part that shows up when you request. So make sure you stand on business, okay? Sprinkle, sprinkle. Okay. You said get that money. Yes. I'm telling y'all. I was just walking around with that whole pheromone, them whole pheromones on. Them whole pheromones. It's literally called whole cosmetics. Let's see. I was literally walking around with this stuff on. And I was, just got offered some money. Weird. It works. Okay. It's called Secret Weapon. Get the whole set. Okay. Give one to a friend. There's a different one. Okay. Bring me my money. You buying some this week? Tell them I sent you. They sent me some free stuff, and I literally put in the work to see if it works, and it be working. Okay, sprinkle, sprinkle. It literally works. I'm a living witness. Okay. Lydia is also a witch, the creator of that brand. Oh, really? Well, makes sense, don't it? Sprinkle, sprinkle. Thank you, Miss Lydia. The funny thing is, my real name means the same thing as Lydia. Uh-oh. Am I sponsored? No, they just sent them to me for free. And I tried them out. I've had these for like 3 weeks. And I wanted to make sure they worked before I suggested them. But no, I didn't get paid. They just gave them to me for free, which I truly appreciate because look, I'm getting paid in the one form or fashion or another, ma'am. Because that works. You work in the industry where you get tips, where you wear this stuff, whatever industry you getting tips, whatever, you got to be in person though. It has to be in person. I don't think it works online. Got to get out. Okay. SheRa, what does it mean getting sick suddenly? Does it mean witchcraft was done on you? No, it probably mean you ate some bad onions. Oh, sprinkle, sprinkle. What kind of sick are you talking about? Stomach sick? You ate something expired, ma'am? Or is it like some other type of sickness? Because take your vitamins every day, stay off certain types of food, and you probably won't even get sick. Okay. You said pain in your whole body. I'm shocked. Did you work out? You be working out? You need to stretch, ma'am. Do some yoga. Go do some yoga. I promise you. And go swim. Go swim and do some yoga. Believe what I say. Okay. Somebody said belly dance. No, I'm serious. Go and do some stretches, do some yoga, stand on your head, even if it's against the wall. Go do that and you'll feel much better. Okay. Flip it. Okay. See, I will try yoga and swimming. If you don't know how to do yoga, at least, okay, so get on the side of your bed. Like, I'm going to show y'all on my bed. So lay down on your bed where your head is backwards towards the ground. And then put your hands up. And you can leave, your legs on your bed, but just make sure your hands and your head are on the floor, like in a headstand. But you can use your bed as a prop. Do that and stay there for like 30 seconds or a minute or however long you can stand it, and then get back up and you're fine. And then maybe go swimming or take a nice shower. You'll be good. You're literally flipping your poles, your polarity. Okay, flip your polarity. That always works. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Okay. Will you ever start decoding again? I'm a long time follower. I think once you start decoding, what happens is you don't have to decode anymore because it's natural to you. So if you decode on your own, you should be able to see all those things on your own. That's the beauty of decoding. They're not to be seen by everyone, so. And you don't want to start pointing things out to everybody if they're not looking for it. You know what I'm saying? So, for example, if you're not seeking to learn about how to decode something, you're not ready to learn it. Okay? But if you're seeking to learn how to decode and things like that, if you want to see symbolism, you're going to seek that knowledge out literally on your own through books, through symbolism, through reading, through trying to learn. But some people, they're not seeking it. And for them to know it and to have it, it could be burdensome, like a burden to them. That's why there's a lot of people walking around sad, depressed, feeling all sorts of ways, feeling anxiety, feeling scared about everything, channeling that knowledge in the wrong direction. And it's not for everybody unless they're seeking it with the occult knowledge that comes along with it. Okay, so the reason why I don't do that anymore, and all the videos are still there if people want to find them and learn about it. The reason why I don't do it anymore, because we live in an age now, especially with the younger generations, that are too sensitive. They're too hyper aware, and they don't have the knowledge to go with it. Okay. People don't seek out knowledge like they used to back in my day. They don't seek it out anymore. They go to TikTok, they go to YouTube instead of going to a book, instead of researching it on their own. They go to other people who may not know what they're talking about, or maybe more advanced than them, and they don't have the background information. So if you don't have a library of occult books that you have read and studied and understand it on several dimensions and several levels, I don't suggest learning how to decode unless you have that background knowledge, because all it's going to lead you to is too much anxiety because you don't understand it. Okay. Now, if you understand it and you know exactly what it is, you're not going to really fear anything. You're not going to have any sort of anxiety towards anything unless you figure it out, but you're not going to have it. And that's why there's a lot of people walking around scared of everything, because they don't have the background information. So I suggest, before learning any of that stuff, and I'm sure you might know a lot of stuff, but start reading books. Be a nerd for a while before you start trying to decode the world. Be a nerd for a long time. Like on the tarot cards, the hermit with the lantern is seeking knowledge. Okay. What do you think of source is, God is? Well, your source is probably your mother, and her source was probably her mother, so forth and so on, back into the beginning of the time. That's why the most ancient symbols and some of the first symbols ever were eggs, goddesses, the cosmic egg, because they're always going to go back to the mother. So the source energy, the source anything, is literally going to be always sourced back symbolically throughout history, throughout ancient history, as an egg or some type of small circle, which is an egg. Some type of void, which is a womb. The source is literally always just going to go back to that. And if you're going to embark upon the occult knowledge, I'm going to tell you something that a lot of people won't tell you. Keep that in mind, that everything came from a womb. That will help you a lot. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Everything came from an egg, a womb, and the void of a womb. If you keep that in your mind when you're learning the occult, you'll be able to decode faster and understand way more. Because so many people, their ego is in their way. And when I say their ego, I mean their patriarchal ego is in their way. Okay. You be looking in the wrong places for the wrong stuff, going in a circle and can't find the answers because you're not paying attention. The biggest secret at the end of the day is it all goes back to a woman. I saved you a lot of time and energy. Okay. Start off knowing that, and everything else is smooth sailing. Think about it. Mm-hmm. So, a lot of times people don't realize until way, way later in life that everything was always pointing back to the woman. So, start off there and you won't have to go on a long, lost journey. You said I need to watch The Love Witch. I've seen that movie. Okay. How do you give appreciation for what you received? By understanding that you manifested that. And if you didn't manifest it, how would you have received it? So it's kind of like, you know how when you order from DoorDash and you pick your items out and they're going to bring them to your door, like if it's a grocery, store, how do you how are you thankful for what you received? You tipped the person. So I don't know if you can tip anything, but you can definitely invest back into yourself. You can tip yourself. You can say, you know what? I did good. Look at all this money I got. I'm going to save most of it. There you go. I am so thankful I'm so smart enough to get this money. Let me reinvest back into myself. Okay? Let me give offerings and tithes to the goddess. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Okay? Save your money. Invest back into yourself. Okay. That's the truth. Well, I mean, what you gonna do? That's how you show gratitude. Thank you, self, for being the best self you can be. Now save this money and reinvest it back into yourself. Okay. How do you vibrate high when you're not in an ideal place, making it hard to be grateful to live in the present? You're alive, ain't you? Go to the cemetery and ask that question. Sprinkle, sprinkle. You alive, ain't you? Go sit in the cemetery. Go watch a funeral. Then go ask the same question. Okay. Tomorrow, get in your car with your problems in your mind and go sit in the cemetery and ask yourself the same question. You remember, you still got a chance. You still got air in your lungs. You can still breathe. You know, you are where you are. You are where you are because you haven't gotten to where you're going yet. You're not in the ground. That means there's still hope. So get up and make it happen. Sprinkle, sprinkle. All right. Okay. And if you don't know how to get it, then find the richest looking grave over there, the biggest headstone, the biggest mausoleum. Go sit over there and contact them rich dead spirits and see how they got it. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Go to the biggest mausoleum, the biggest headstone, and read now. Okay, Mr. Such and Such or Mrs. Such and Such, how you get this money? How you get here? Your gravestone costs more than my car. All right. That's how you do it. Go find a rich grave. Find you a rich. Go over there. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Collect you some rich graveyard dirt. How you doing? Whenever you collect something, you got to leave something. So bring a little gift. A couple of pennies, a flower or something. I don't know. Libation, pour them some alcohol, something. Get you some rich grave dirt. Okay. You don't even be thinking about it no more. You I got me some rich grave dirt. I'm alive. I can breathe. I can go make it happen. Go dig it in the cemetery. That's right. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Okay. Why would I be sad? I have like everything I want. Not sad. I don't have time to be sad. Okay. Thank you, as LT. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Can you substitute rich grave dirt with dirt near a bank? Yeah, either one. But see, the bank, that's a good one. And I've talked about that before. But a person has limitless ideas, money making ideas, how they got paid, wisdom as well. We'll get both. You said you might meet a rich family member visiting. Okay, Ray World. That's right, ma'am. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Try to go on the holidays where, okay, for my witchy gold diggers, you go find a grave, the richest grave you can find. Make sure the person ain't too old. That way, they still have some living relatives. Look at their birthday. Most likely, they're going to get visited on their birthday or on major holidays like Christmas or close to Christmas. So, take you some screenshots. Okay, this person's birthday is coming up. Let me make sure I'm close by. One of the family members might visit. Sprinkle, sprinkle. You know what I'm saying? You said Father's Day is coming up. Find all the rich daddies. Huh? Yes, ma'am. You never know. Okay. Gold digging in the cemetery. You said that's why royal family graves are off limits. Rich is and royal aren't the same thing. Okay. You live next to the cemetery in the wealthy neighborhood in Houston. Father's Day is approaching. Okay, girl, get your outfit together, ma'am. Sprinkle, sprinkle, Miss Alex. Okay. But honestly, the whole thing I was telling you about the grave dirt and to be thankful that you're alive. I'm being serious. What is my favorite magic against enemies? Getting this paper. I don't have any enemies, man. I don't acknowledge people on that level enough for them to even be my enemy. I told you 5D, baby. 6D thinking, 5D. Enemies only exist in the third dimension. Everything else that has levels to it. Get your money. Okay. You can do more in the 3D. You don't even have to acknowledge them. Like, honestly, if you have enemies, it's because you're not focused on yourself enough. I will repeat that. Notice the people that focus on themselves the most. They don't have no enemies. Think about it. Focus on yourself more and you'll have no enemies. Self-love, self-focus. You don't have time for enemies. You're not acknowledging other people because you're focused on yourself unless they can benefit you in some way in whatever you're trying to accomplish, then there's no room for them. So therefore, you don't have any enemies. That's why I don't have any enemies. Because I'm not focused on people enough to make them my enemy. I'm just like, oh well, on to the next. Get this money. I don't remember your name, but good luck to you. That's the best you can do. All right. Treat them like a customer. They ain't buying. Oh well, goodbye. All right. How many dimensions are there? What's 6D? Girl, that's something you got to go read about. There's multiple dimensions. However far you can comprehend. You know what I'm saying? So, for example, when people said, oh, there's stars and planets, and people didn't believe anything until they were able to see it or experience it through a telescope, through a lens, through space travel, through this, through that. If you believe in that, you're not going to be able to know until you understand, you learn about it, you learn how to get there mentally and in your imagination first, because that's how a lot of things start off. You know what I'm saying? Like science fiction started off by saying, oh, you could travel here and this is possible to get to this place. And then scientists like literally took that as, okay, thinking outside of the box. How can we make fiction reality? Okay. Just like when you like use one of those silly AI programs and you say, let me see what I would look like if I was A, B, C, and D on, with at this place at this time with this um, look or whatever, and then AI will shift and to create that reality that you would see or that image that you would see. So it's kind of like that. It's kind of like the dimensions are limitless based on your imagination. Okay. Why do you think Elon Musk is obsessed with going to Mars. Is he obsessed with going to Mars? Well, sometimes a lot of things are more metaphor than they are real. Sprinkle, sprinkle. You see Bruno Mars? Our minds and our imaginations is what taught AI. And programmed it. So it's AI is limited, but not us. That's the difference. This is why they constantly want information from you, to learn as much as they can learn, how to think, how to use their imagination, how to become limitless as well. You know, a lot of times when you learn from, you know, people's limited thinking or unlimited thinking, it's easier to figure things out or to think how others would think with less limits. Mm-hmm. You see, I said therapy is a scam. Well, it would be for me because, you know, I can figure out my own stuff. 'Cause I know, like, I have to look at it from a different perspective. I have to look at it from the therapist perspective. So if I were a therapist and I needed you to keep coming back so I can keep getting paid and getting your insurance, I'm not gonna solve your problem. How SR sprinkle sprinkle, what would be a great manifesting daily routine? Um, to just think that whatever you are manifesting is coming eventually and you don't really have to worry about it and you just keep living your day-to-day life and thinking limitlessly as a goddess or a god. You said therapy is a scam for people who are self-aware. That's right. You can see yourself, control your own emotions, know how to manipulate, know how to get what you want. You don't really need therapy. You know what I'm saying? Because you know the answers already. And the therapist is just going to ask you what you think about your own situation anyway to get the answers that you already know. So I don't know. I think most people that go to therapy just need someone to listen to them and feel sorry for them or to help them see themselves, to put a mirror to them. But honestly, if you spend enough time alone, you're going to know yourself and you're going to know your weaknesses. You're going to know your strengths. You're going to know how you make excuses for yourself. You're going to know when you're playing the victim and when you're not playing the victim and when you choose to take charge of your own life and go get stuff done and choose to move forward with your life and to move forward in your limitless thinking. You're going to understand that all that stuff is your choice and your decision, no matter who you sit in front of and spill your guts to. It all has to come down to your choice of what you want to do. So that's why, to me, I say it's a scam for people like me. Some people won't understand until they experience someone just sitting there, allowing them to talk to themselves with another person present. Okay, that's all it is. Okay. You're literally just sitting there talking to someone that's present, but you're literally talking to yourself. So, oh, kinetic GG sprinkle sprinkle. Thank you, girl. You said, as a therapist, I try to get clients to find the answers within themselves as quickly as possible so I can help as many as I can find their truth. Well, that's good. That's a good therapist, but some people don't want help. They just want to vent or to play the victim or to make excuses as to why they're afraid or they don't want to move forward in their lives. A lot of people. And some people do want help. You said therapy is for men. Yeah, I gotta wrap this up in a few minutes, y'all. But y'all have been great. Anyway, so yeah, y'all learn to think outside the box. Y'all learn to start thinking limitlessly. Stop doubting yourself. Stop fearing everything. Stop living by what people expect of you and live by what you expect of yourself. Okay, because you ain't got nothing but yourself at the end of the day. So make sure you're making you happy, doing what you know is best for you and those that you love, and keep it moving. You know, don't be afraid of what people are going to label you, because there is no black and white labels. Not in this dimension anyway. They can try. That's why labels are flat, because it's so two-dimensional. Okay. I will see y'all on the next one. Thank y'all, everybody who donated. I really appreciate you. Thank y'all. I appreciate it. I'll see y'all on the next one. Y'all hit the like button. And if y'all are new, thank you so much for subscribing to my channel. And I'll see y'all later. Bye.